are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for doing this with us today. So obviously at Gantry we have a number of kids who are aspiring actors, and you are working in the industry. Could you tell us a little bit about what you've done?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so I've done a couple of movies, a couple of student projects. The two movies aren't out yet, but they are coming out. They are over 18, so I'm not sure anyone will be able to watch them anyway. A couple of things on TV, just no speaking roles, just background work. I'm actually on TV on the last day of this month, Britain's Most Evil Killers. So you like your documentaries? give that a watch. It's but I don't know what's the age range of this? What's the age?
So our students go up to 18. So
okay.
you might not be able to watch all of your work.
yeah.
What's the most fun project you've been involved in?
The most fun. I don't know. That's a hard one to answer, because like generally it's just doing anything in front of the camera. I love doing that anyway. So it's kind of all kind of fun in its own sort of way. And each project is different, and each project brings something different, something unique to the experience. So everything is a new experience, and it all is pretty much fun. I can tell you my most funnest moment, if that's even a word, I don't know, is when the directors just don't care and they just go, Nick, just do whatever. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, so we just lost you there. So you were saying about when the director says, do what you like.
Yeah. So when the director says, do what you like, I find those like the most sort of fun experiences, because, you're able to play around with the words, the character, the moment, whatever the scene is, you're able to just sort of bring something different to it. And I find those moments the most fun. They don't always happen, because obviously you've got a script, so some things are rigid, they'll always be rigid. But yeah, those are my most fun moments, because I haven't got like one particular fun project. It's just there's fun moments in every.
Excellent. So what made you go into the industry, the acting for the camera, films and TV?
Something different. I wanted to do something different. I just felt bored with general life, and I guess not to ego or anything, but I've got like a creative mind, and that needs to be nurtured. And I can't fulfill my brain needs if I'm stuck in a job that I was doing for such a long time anyway.
I imagine a lot of our kids will relate to that.
Yeah, when you just start doing the same thing, it's just I'm able to be creative in a place where I'm not necessarily getting the time to be creative, and that's what made me go into it.
So why did you choose for the acting for the camera, TV and film over, say, theatre?
Mainly nerves and anxiety. I did have a go at theatre, but I didn't manage to complete the project because I felt ill. So, but like the whole time learning, and the whole sort of 5 weeks leading up to it, I was just like really sort of. But it's the good thing about that is what I didn't know then and what I know now is you can turn that into a much bigger positive. And it was my very first project, just going into it, and I was scared because it was my first one. But because I've not years of experience, I would look into going to theatre now, because I've got experience now that I'm able to do it. And I think generally doing things in front of people can be a nerve-wracking thing.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and I think now I've got a different viewpoint than what I did when I initially started. Now I've got all that experience behind camera and stuff, and doing things in front of people. I've done scenes where there's literally been like, I think, what was the total? I think it was like over 20 people around me. And I only had like 3 lines to learn, but the fact it was doing it in front of these people, because all those eyes are just going to be sort of on you, and I found that sort of very nosy. But I'm used to doing it, and it is what it is now,
Excellent.
So
do you have any tips for coping with nerves?
Tips for coping with nerves. Yeah. What I generally do is if I ever feel a bit nervous, is I get my energy going. So I might jump up and down a little bit, you know, wiggle about, do a little bit of exercise. It just gets the blood sort of going. And then I'm like, and it's kind of like an alleviation of, you know, you sort of relax. That's what I do. It works for me. Everyone will be different. Everyone's got to find their own thing of coping with it, but that can help. Just, you know, sort of.
Absolutely, that's something that we will try maybe. I've got a couple of questions from the kids now, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, exciting.
So Freddie says, how often do you get the part when you go for it? And do you often get the part that you go for, or are you offered something different?
Okay. Most of the time when I go for a part, I do get it. But that's what helps with that is I've already got an established profile. So people can look at me and they can judge if they want me to be part of their project before I've even gone for an audition. So that can be very helpful. And slightly off track, you know, if you do go for auditions, is you've got to remember that the people sitting there want you to give it your all. They want you to give everything you've got in that audition. And if you don't get that audition, just keep trying because there is a part for everybody, and you just got to keep trying and don't fall down, because you'll have moments where I've had moments where I've applied for things and I've even had like a message back to say nope, or like I've even had applied for things and they've told me the audition date and then nothing. So it's very hit and miss, and you've got to keep trying at it, because it's a big world. Acting is a big world. It's full of lots of other actors that want roles, and you just need to sort of stick at it. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to say really, because it's just sort of I either get the part or I don't get the part. It's
absolutely, it's competitive, isn't it?
It's competitive, yeah.
Excellent.
I think I went a bit off topic.
No, that's absolutely fine, not to worry. I've got another question here. Eleanor has asked you, what's the main thing that's different about acting on screen as opposed to acting on stage?
The main difference, probably people pay to watch you on a stage, so you have to give your best performance. One's live, one's not. In theatre, there is no takes, there is no cuts, and it helps to be really good on ad-libbing, I think. Yeah,
definitely.
And also is to help each other. If you're on a stage, just help each other out. If someone gets stuck, just do what you can. If you need to keep a scene rolling, and if people forget their lines, you know, you can just hit those key moments. It might jog someone's memory to remember their lines. It's all about a collective. You're there as a family and really helping each other. Definitely.
What about when you're on set? What do you need to really focus and bring to it then?
Well, when you're on set, that will depend on the director you're with. Some directors can be quite firm. Some directors have a lot of leeway with how you are. Some directors don't care if it takes 30 takes to get something right. Some directors care if you don't get it right in the first 2 or 3 takes, because I suppose with theatre it depends on if you're renting a place, but you've got more time to play around and learn. Whereas acting, you can get a script and they want you to do filming like in 2 or 3 days time.
Okay, so you were saying obviously you only get a couple of days sometimes from getting your script to actually doing the scene. Do you have any strategies that you have to learn your lines? That's a question from Sophie.
Oh, okay. Yes. I use a great app called Rehearsal Pro. I think it cost me like £14. It's got everything you need. Like everyone can learn differently. Like some people learn by walking around, some people learn by listening. Me, I try to do everything. So if I'm busy, I'll record my lines and then just have them looped over in my headphones if I'm walking about somewhere or going into town, so that I'm learning my lines that way. Another one I do is if I have a paper copy, is I'll walk up and down. I'll have my paper copy and I'll read, and then I'll walk up and down, and then I'll say them to myself, and then I'll just do like an extra word or a couple of words, and then I'll just slowly remember bigger bits.
So just repeating it over and over.
Repetition is key.
Well, we've had some great advice from you, Nick. Before you go, could you just give our kids any advice for if they want to go into the industry? What would you say to them?
Any advice to go into the industry? Always do your best. Always do your best. Learn from your mistakes. Accept that you will not get a part, and just go for it. Anything you can do, just go for it.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us, Nick. We will obviously be broadcasting this on our social media, and hopefully work with you more in the future.
Yay!
Bye!
Bye!